What's going on YouTube? My name is David and welcome to my Alienware X51 Gaming PC 2013 review. The gameplay in the background is some leftover video I have from the Crysis 3 beta. I'm running the game on high settings with over 70 frames per second. I also have some Black Ops 2 maxed out gameplay, as well as Max Payne 3 maxed out gameplay. I feel that Max Payne 3 was very underrated in the visuals department. It is a very impressive looking game. I apologize if Crysis 3 gameplay isn't too stellar because I already used my best clips for a beta impressions video. Now let's talk about the PC. The Alienware X51 has been on the market for a little more than a year now, and the first few waves of consumers have used this machine for a while. Alienware had quite lofty ambitions when making this PC. In years past, they pioneered a small form factor gaming laptop, the M11X. It has since been discontinued, but from the ashes a phoenix arises, and that phoenix is the Alienware X51, the first upgradable small form factor desktop gaming PC. I've had mine since November 2012 and have gone through a series of upgrades such as the graphics card and the RAM, and posted the demonstration videos on YouTube. For reference, click on any of the pictures in picture and the annotation will open up the videos in a new window. Before getting into the specifics of the review, I just want to say the Alienware X51 will remain a staple of my technology suite, and I see myself supporting this PC design for a long time to come. I've learned a lot about computers in general from the moment when I first opened the box to going through upgrades and hardware tweaks. The comment section on my Alienware videos have been very active, and I do my best to personally respond to each question. Other subscribers have been kind enough to help each other out, and I really appreciate that. The X51 was the first PC I bought since I bought my HP laptop for college. Before that, I only had my family desktop to game on, and I could only run low graphics free-to-play games or single-player games. I played some Valve shooters like Counter-Strike or Day of Defeat, but one does not simply play Counter-Strike casually. I was in the same boat with my laptop because you're limited with what you could do with an integrated graphics card. So to expand my horizons and not limit myself to mostly console gaming, I got the Alienware to replace my laptop that was chugging along. Without further digression, I'll explain how I organized the review and we'll look at this PC in depth. First, I'm going to talk about the build and the hardware. Next, I'm going to give a review score for different categories of consumers who would have an interest in this PC. The groups are organized in order of relevance to who I think Alienware was trying to market to. The first group of consumers are the predominantly console gamers who wish to learn more about PC gaming and PC game on the side. The second group of people are those who want a solid performance computer for work or other applications, but game on the side. The third group of people are the ones who wish to become predominantly PC gamers and want to get really deep into customizations and use the PC as a primary gaming platform. The fourth group of consumers are those who already game heavily on PC and already have a lot of experience tweaking hardware and are looking for a new platform to build upon. The most salient and largest selling feature of this PC is its sleek, compact form factor. Like mentioned previously, Alienware was ambitious when designing this PC. Most gaming PC cases are much bigger. I'm aware of the criticisms of buying a pre-built PC. More experienced gamers will tell you that it isn't cost effective to buy a pre-built PC, and that much is certain. The components will definitely cost less if you buy them all separately. I do think, however, Alienware is the best when it comes to pre-built desktops. Who else is worth mentioning? CyberPower or iBuyPower? Those two companies are less than stellar from what I hear. For someone without any previous experience working with PC hardware, you are getting a lot of peace of mind for your money when you buy a pre-built machine. You know that when you plug it in, it's going to work hassle-free. Time is also money. There is a little bit of a learning curve to find which components to buy for the best price and learn how to build a PC. There are a lot of helpful step-by-step tutorials online. But for some people, time is worth diamonds, and it's more than worth it to them to pay more and get something pre-built and save several hours. Just based on the coolness factor of the case of the X51, this PC gets a lot of consideration. The X51 since its debut has undergone one major revision, replacing the old GT545 and 555 OEM graphics card for the more advanced GTX 640 and 660 OEM cards. The physical layout of the case hasn't changed at all though. If you've seen my previous upgrade videos, you'll see that everything inside the Alienware is a tight squeeze. This is where Alienware had to make some compromises. You won't be able to run the largest mainstream graphics card, the GTX 690, because it physically can't fit. Even if it could fit, you'll get some heat problems. because the GTX 690 requires a lot of external heat dispersion mechanisms or case cooling to keep running. There's no room without heavy case modifications to fit any other cooling fans or mechanisms. You are also limited in terms of power supply options. There are currently only two official power supplies, the 240 watt and the 330 watt. High-end cards like the 680 or the 690 can't run on either. When using some of the better cards that Alienware can handle like the 660 or the 670 and running them overclocked, heat dispersion is still an issue. Heat wouldn't have been a problem with this PC build with the original two cards because they weren't that fast, but it's another story entirely with the new cards. The case is extremely poorly ventilated and that can lead to a lot of dust buildup, so you have to perform more maintenance to clean out the interior than on some other PCs. I suppose that Dell did thorough torture tests with the 640 and the 660 OEM cards, but overclocking is highly frowned upon in pre-built PCs with custom upgraded cards. There's only about half an inch between the GPU and the metal surface outlining the case interior, and you're blowing hot air directly onto it. I had to install fan monitoring programs to get the fans to speed up and help with heat dispersion, but all the fans get really loud. If Alienware is thinking about continuing to produce future editions of the X51, one design tip I would give is to remove the optical drive and use that space for something else. One of my upgrade videos shows how to remove the optical drive and why optical drives are not so relevant in 2013. I've seen a lot of case modifications. Oh, by the way, I don't even know whether the next generation consoles are going to have optical drives or not. There are a lot of rumors floating around that they're not even going to use optical drives. I've seen a lot of case modifications that other users have made that use space for additional fans or a solid state drive upon removing the optical drive. So more mesh so that the air can escape around the sides of the case wouldn't hurt either. Again, I don't think it would matter even if they made the case big enough to fit the largest cards on the market because of the power draw needs and the heavy cooling needs. The actual graphics and PC performance is amazing. I can get high graphics at over 70 frames average on my GTX 660 superclock playing Crysis 3, and Crysis 3 is supposed to be the most graphically intense video game to date. It only takes me about 20 minutes to render 10 minutes of 1080p gaming videos, and that really helps me in making more YouTube content. The first group of consumers who would find this review relevant are those who are currently console gamers and want to ease into the PC gaming world. You definitely want to spend more time gaming than messing around with hardware and software, something that a console affords. The X51 was advertised as a next-gen console, and it would be a good living room fixture to use with your TV. The intimidation factor for console gamers has also been lowered. Some console gamers are hesitant in making the jump into PC gaming because of the intimidation factor learning the hardware and software associated with PC gaming. The X51 looks more like a console than a PC, and the external lighting, which you can adjust to any color combination you want, looks really cool. Dell forums and tech support are very helpful. The forums are active with other Alienware owners who want to help, and the system warranty is impressive. The X51 is a decent starting platform for console gamers to get their first dedicated gaming machine. However, the peace of mind only lasts if you aren't running the highest end graphic cards. If you do intend to learn to make upgrades yourself and want a card like the GTX 660 or 670, you have to install applications like MSI Afterburner or SpeedFan to get the PC's heat down. With all PCs, you still have to perform maintenance to clean out the interior dust, but probably more so with the X51 because of the poor ventilation. So it seems like a conflict of interest to purchase a pre-built machine for the peace of mind, but end up having to do a lot of work on the side to keep your machine sharp if you intend to run the best graphics. You also don't get a monitor with this PC. I thought about lowering the score because the relevance of getting a PC that is advertised as a next-gen console would wane in the presence of the heavy influx of rumoring about the next Xbox and the next PlayStation, but I didn't in the end. A PC will still be relevant and separate from consoles, and there's no reason to think that console hardware sales will affect PC prices. For those looking for a diverse experience you can't quite get on consoles, the Alienware is a great starting PC choice. For mostly console gamers looking to PC game on the side, the X51 gets a score of a B-. The next group of people who the X51 will be relevant for, and one of the groups I belong in, is the group of people who would buy the X51 as a strong computer for them to work on, such as rendering videos and want to game on the side. This group is also more concerned with, spending more time gaming than tweaking their hardware. It was a pain to edit and render on Sony Vegas on my old computer. I was definitely in the market for a computer with a strong processor and a strong enough graphics card to get the most out of making my gaming videos. When I looked at all the components I wanted, the Alienware wasn't too much of a far cry away, so I just went for it. The same positives with the review for the first category of consumers applies, but the negatives are minimized slightly because this group of consumers will have a little more experience working with PC. I give the Alienware a B for this group. The third group of gamers is those who want to become very avid PC gamers and want to learn about PC hardware in depth and work towards building a rig of the future. I would say that this is another group that I'm becoming more and more a part of. Sadly, the X51 isn't a good fit for this group. You'll never be able to install top-of-the-line upgrades, and you'll never be able to get cool features like SLI, crossfire, extra case fans, or water-based cooling. Like mentioned previously, there is a dedicated community who has worked hard to show custom upgrades to the design, but upgradability is still limited. If you want to be an enthusiast level PC gamer, you are much better off thinking about getting a conventional design PC. For this group, I rate the PC a C-. The final group of gamers are those who already have experience working with PC hardware and are already heavy PC gamers, looking for a new platform to work on. It goes without saying, the negatives of the previous group applies here too. Your previous knowledge of PC upgrades will only have a limited amount of overlap with the X51 due to its unique design. The only way I could see any already dedicated gamer getting the X51 is if they fall in love with the case appearance or just want a backup computer like the one mentioned in Group 2 to use for messy computing like downloading files, editing programs, or playing games with a lot of mods, because I know some gamers have their gaming computer very raw with limited programs. Either way, there isn't a learning curve for this group to buy necessary components and build a rig on the side. For this group of consumers, the Alienware gets an F. To conclude, I'll summarize the main points I talked about today, but before that I want to say thank you very much for listening to this review all the way to this point. It really means a lot to me. The Alienware is a good platform for those who want to initially spend more time gaming than worry about their hardware and learn about upgrading as they go. The design is ambitious, but could use some improvements. The group of gamers that would benefit the most are those who wish to ease into PC gaming slowly, learn as they go, and are okay with not immediately having top-of-the-line gear. It remains to be seen how long Alienware is going to support a product like this and whether they are going to undergo any more design revisions. It depends on how well the consumers pick up on this product and limitations of future video cards. Crysis 3 is out soon, and it doesn't even get the most out of current cards running single display 1080p. Multiple display 3D or 1440p would push current cards like the 690 though, but everything that works for the X51 should get most people happily through early 2014. I don't rule out building my own custom rig down the line that can have components like SLI cards and water cooling, but the Alienware is going to be a fixture in my technology repertoire for the foreseeable future. Again, thanks for watching my review.